Hi, College Park. My name is Rena Quinones, and I am the city's Communications and Events Manager. I have here with me today Dr. Matt Levy, Prince George's County Health Officer, to talk with us all about rabies and wildlife and how to protect your family. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Levy.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, thank you so much. So I think what everybody wants to know is, what is rabies and how do you get it?
Rabies is a virus that attacks the nervous system. It's usually spread through saliva or mucus from a bite or scratch from an infected animal. Once the symptoms of rabies start, it is almost always fatal. The good news is that we have a lot of prevention measures in place to protect people.
Thank you for that information. What animals can get rabies?
Rabies is an infection that affects mammals, and that includes humans. But most commonly, it's wild animals like skunks and foxes and bats and raccoons. Domestic animals can also be affected, dogs and cats and other livestock. That's why we have a good prevention program.
What are rabies symptoms in animals?
Well, first, the time it takes rabies symptoms to start after exposure are very variable. It could be up to days to months, and based on where the bite is, how much virus got in there, what kind of animal it is. But because it affects the nervous system, most symptoms of rabies are related to that. So abnormal behaviors such as aggression or lethargy, sleepiness, or staggering or moving in circles. But they can also see paralysis and seizures, difficulty swallowing, excessive drooling, and there's actually a fear of water.
Good to know. So we've seen cases of rabies in the news, but is rabies common in Maryland?
No, and the cases of rabies are all in the Atlas, right? So the short answer is no. Rabies in pets and people is very rare in the United States and Maryland because of the robust prevention and control measures that we've taken, such as pet vaccinations and prompt treatment of exposures and control measures of animals, such as quarantining and testing. In fact, there has not been a case of human rabies from an animal exposure in Maryland since 1973.
Wow.
We test over about 300 animals a year, mostly due to because they looked infected or there was a bite or exposure. And only between 2018 and 2022, only about 5% of those actually tested positive for rabies.
Wow. What is normal wild animal behavior? And what do I do if I see a raccoon or a fox out during the day?
Animals that are out at night can also be out during the day. For example, foxes may be out playing or looking for food. Raccoons might be out looking for food or even moving from one home to another. So if you see them out, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're sick. However, if you do see an animal that looks sick, dying, or even dead, contact the city of College Park Animal Control Services or contact the Prince George's County Health Department and keep children and pets away from these animals. If you think that an animal has bitten you, go to the emergency department and call the health department. If you think an animal has bitten your pet or scratched your pet, then contact your veterinarian right away.
So what can I do to protect myself, my family, and my pets?
It's a good question. So first, teach your children not to approach or touch wildlife. Make sure your animals are vaccinated, up to date. Don't leave them unattended or let them roam free. If you see a stray animal, make sure you stay clear of it. We have a lot of stray cats in our communities. If you see a lot of stray cats in your neighborhood and in College Park, contact animal control. There's also a community cat program you can contact as well. Also, animal-proof your house. Cap your chimneys. Make sure you have screens on your windows. If you have a hole outside that's more than a quarter inch, fill it. And also secure your trash bins, because that's a the area for animals to get into. And then again, report any bites to the health department, go to the emergency room if you do get scratched or bitten, and contact your veterinarian if it happens with your animals.
Well, thank you. Those are all great tips. And I think from what I got from it, pet vaccinations are a big part of it. So thank you. What steps are the city, the county, and the state taking to keep our residents safe?
Well, the city of College Park, the Prince George County Health Department, and the Maryland Department of Natural Resources are all working together to monitor and track what's going on in the area. And we will continue to work together to track this and also take next steps as appropriate based on the level of risk so that we can ensure that all Prince Georges are their healthiest at every age and every stage, and everybody is safe from rabies.
Well, thank you again so much, Dr. Levy. I really appreciate all that amazing information that you gave. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.